Welcome to Movie Monday, where every Monday I tell you a movie you need to watch and sometimes not. Today we're talking about The Threesome. You know, that one movie that just came out where three people make one questionable decision and then spend the rest of the time trying to figure out the fallout? There are different dates for when it released, but I'm pretty sure it just came out. It's an hour and 52 minutes long and it's categorized as a romance comedy. And there is definitely a cast in this movie, but I would say the main characters are the three people that you would probably assume. And those faces should be on the screen somewhere, hopefully. But if you're more into that behind the scenes information, like ratings, writers, directors, producers, that should all be on the screen now as well. No spoilers here, but the setup is exactly how you would expect. One guy, two girls, they make one decision that changes all of their lives. Connor, Olivia, and Jenny think it's going to be just one wild night, but then we fast forward a little bit and then all of a sudden both of them are pregnant. And this is where it kind of gets a little complicated. This movie isn't just about one moment, it's about everything that happens afterwards. Who steps up, who runs away, who gets hurt, and how do three young people handle something that makes life instantly way more real than they were ready for. It's a rom-com on the surface, but it honestly leans more into the messy slice of life drama territory. It's awkward, it's funny in spots, but it's also stressful because the stakes feel so personal. I'll be real, I was low-key dreading this, not because of the premise or anything, just because of my own personal opinions on how I watch movies. My own personal movie opinions, that's probably a better way to say that. I had the awesome opportunity to pre-screen this movie, but with some pre-screeners you really have no idea what you're getting into, which definitely has its pros and its cons. But here's the thing, I'm not a huge fan of movies that have endless intimate scenes. I can handle it if it's really central or integral to the story, like movies I don't know, Honora or X. Those make sense. It kind of needs that for the story to feel full in a way. But when it leans more into that 50 Shades territory, I tend to check out. And with a title like The Threesome, I really did think it could go either way. And honestly, it was a nice surprise that the movie was not consumed by sexual content. Yes, of course, something has to happen. Things do transpire, but the way that it's handled, it's not let me keep throwing them at you. The heart of the story is about these characters and the consequences of their own actions. And honestly, that made this whole thing way more enjoyable. I'm totally down for that over constant no. I think what pulled me in most though was the writing and the chemistry between all of our leads. It doesn't feel like a lust-driven story the way Challengers does. Another movie with three people definitely doing things. There's so many fingers in this video, sorry. It's definitely a little more grounded. And even at one point they mentioned that we're in 2024 and all of the characters, the entire world, everything feels very real. I'm basically their age. I'm a little bit younger, but I definitely could see these being my friends. Not in a parasocial way, just in a character study way, oh, these are people that you just meet. These are people that you can find literally anywhere. They're very real, grounded stories. I don't know, that feels stupid in a way. I shouldn't be calling what I'm saying stupid, but I think you understand where I'm kind of going. But there's just so many little things that I definitely feel add up. The awkward pauses, the dumb little jokes, the way that emotions can swing from 0 to 100 in a conversation. It's definitely capturing that young and trying to figure out adulthood vibe. And I feel by the end of the movie you definitely see the real bonds that are made between all of these characters. It's not just attraction, but it's genuine connection, which definitely helps the whole thing in my opinion. Zoey Deutch, however you say her name. I think I said it right at least one of the times. Let me know in the comments though, I guess. But her as Olivia was definitely fascinating because she is the emotional center, but she definitely made me the most frustrated. She definitely jerks you around, but it also feels super intentional. We're literally supposed to feel the push and pull from her. And the guy that plays Connor, I'm not even gonna try and say his name, sorry guy. He was definitely a little more understated, but in a good way. He definitely grounds the story. He's not the flashiest, luckiest character, but he's definitely the glue that holds the situation together, as I'm sure you can probably assume, presume, whatever the word is. And Ruby Cruz, wow, oh my gosh, I feel like I was the most blown away by her, like seeing her. I have only seen her in this movie called Bottoms. If you haven't seen Bottoms, I would definitely recommend it, but it is nothing like this movie at all. She is super funny in Bottoms, but here she is definitely a lot more vulnerable and layered, and like I didn't even know it was her until I was making this video and looking up the people in the cast, and I was like, wait, that's what? That's honestly probably the biggest surprise of the whole movie to me, and I am super excited to see where else she goes in her career. Like, I definitely want to keep seeing her. What I think makes the threesome so interesting is that it's not necessarily about the act itself, but everything that comes after it, because the act was acted upon. I'm really trying not to say the title of the thing too many times, okay? Which is why I'm using other verbiage for other things that I know could be generalized to just one word, but let's keep going. But it really is about how one night can really ripple into months and years of things happening. And there's also this theme of communication, or I guess the lack of it. So many problems between these characters come from them just like not talking to each other. They don't want to be honest, they don't want to hurt each other's feelings, and oh man, yeah, that definitely spirals into what we see. But all of that convolutedness definitely feels very true to like the 20-something experience right now. The movie is definitely coated in this like comedy shell, but it definitely leaves you thinking like, what would I do if I was in their shoes? Like, I genuinely have no idea. And for me, the only real negatives that I have are really just personal opinion based. Some of the emotional roller coaster felt a little too much at times, but again, these characters themselves are definitely messy, so that kind of like comes with the territory in some way. Definitely not a flaw in like the acting or the directing, just again, my personal opinion. If you like a more neat, tidy rom-com where everyone is charming and lovable, this definitely is not that. These are flawed and sometimes unlikable people. I would say overall, the threesome surprised me in a good way. It's complicated, emotional, messy, funny, and grounded in a way I didn't expect, and I definitely recommend checking it out. I gave it a 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd, and I have been trying to think of a good movie to compare this to, and I'm gonna be so real, I don't have a good one. There's like some elements of the movie called Shiva Baby, if you've seen that. It's awkward, it's claustrophobic, there's a lot of messy what is going on happening, but that's definitely its own thing, so I wouldn't go into this thinking, ah, Shiva Baby. This movie is not trying to be like quirky or stylish, it's more like raw and relatable. So if you're into movies that dive into complicated relationships and the fallout of one impulsive decision, then I would definitely recommend The Threesome to you. But that is sadly it for this Movie Monday. If you liked today's video, make sure to give it a like, it definitely helps this channel out. And of course, let me know in the comments if you've seen this movie or if you're now potentially planning to see it now. Oh, and just so you know, I'm almost always taking suggestions for what I should watch and review for next Movie Monday as well. So if you have a movie that you potentially want me to watch and review, please don't hesitate to let me know in the comments as well. I'm going to go now though. I will see you guys in the next video, and I hope you guys all have a good day. Bye!